What's going on? Will Freeman, RevolutionaryLifestyleDesign.com, talking to you today about action is everything. Not reading from quotes from successful entrepreneurs, not reading biographies of successful people, or even doing quote unquote research on your vertical, because when you're being honest with yourself, you know that research is not work. I'll tell you what work is. Work is what you want to do the absolute least. Okay? The best thing for your business is almost always the last thing you want to do. Getting that license, getting that business bank account, getting that 100 cold calls, 200 cold calls a day done. That's what real work is. And the most important work is almost always what you least want to do, at least until you get to the higher levels of luxury in business and you can delegate what you hate. But until then, what you least want to do is almost the most important thing to do. And that's what you need to take action on, because it's not about becoming, okay? So many guys get this wrong. You don't have to become anything to become successful. You don't have to be anything to be successful, because identity is an illusion. The identity of success is merely just a side effect of taking right actions over a long period of time consistently. Being successful is an illusion, okay? It's a fun illusion, but what you really are is the Holy Spirit temporarily incarnated into this physical body to play the game of life for a period of time. Yes, you can use that illusion of success to create and reinforce positive actions and habits. And you can act as if you're successful, but what really gets you to becoming and being successful is taking actions. Okay, but understand success is the result of consistently taking those positive actions over time, not the other way around. This is not reading The Secret and thinking of success, and then all of a sudden you will magically become successful. Okay, it's understanding that success, just like being an entrepreneur, is an illusion. Okay, it's an identity that you take on top of what the reality is, which is you being the Holy Spirit temporarily incarnated into this body, because it's a fun identity to take on in this game of life. Okay, but acting and thinking successful will not get you there. It is the actions that will get you there. Okay? Success is the result of consistently taking those positive actions over time, not the other way around. When you channel your will into the right thoughts and the right actions, you become successful over time. You become an overnight success after 5, 7, 8 years of hard work. That's how it works. But it's the actions. Everybody that's successful, you just see what they have, but it's the actions that got them there. Okay? And only then do you get to play the role of successful entrepreneur on the great stage of life. And it's a much better part to play than the broke failure. I've played them both, and I can confirm that through direct experience. Getting to play the successful entrepreneur with the money is much more fun than the broke failure. Okay? Because most people don't know they're playing a game. So people will judge you on that, and that judgment affects you. So it's much more fun to be judged as someone who is successful, and to have the resources that come with that, and the added sexual market value and all those other good things in the game of life. But I didn't get to become successful because I read The Secrets, okay? If you're reading The Secret and you're on these forums, these attraction forums, that's all well and good, but the limiting factor is action. Whether you believe in it or not, what's going to get you there is taking the actions. Okay? Consistent action got me here. I'm speaking to you from Thailand, by the way. That's why I hate when my coaching clients tell me that they're not as tough or as committed as me, as if that commitment is something I inherited, as opposed to taking the right actions over time, waking up, fighting mediocrity, and average every day. All those Friday nights that I was in working, Saturday nights that I stayed in working, getting up at 6 every day, working a side business on top of my job, every night after work, every weekend, saving every dollar I made. Still mostly doing that, by the way. because I'm not going to be fully bulletproof until I'm 40 and I'm 36 now. You guys can do it a lot faster. If you're younger than me and you follow my stuff, I could probably take 5 to 10 years off your learning curve. Same thing with my coaching clients. I'm financially free, but I'm not financially bulletproof. And I'll have more content on that. It's going to take me till 40 to get there with the passports, all the flows that I want, the multiple properties, all that stuff. But the reality is I'm not tougher than anyone, because at the granular level, identifying with anything outside of the Holy Spirit temporarily incarnated into this Homo sapien that you see talking to you is an illusion. Okay, one you can use for good, but illusion nonetheless. This toughness, it's just really me choosing tough actions. It's choosing the harder action to do consistently over time. And every day being a battle to do that. Okay, today, prior to doing this video and after doing this video, I will be fighting a war minute to minute, hour to hour, day by day, to consistently choose the hard thing, to consistently choose the thing that's going to move me forward, to consistently push past the pain, because I know that's consistently going to make me happier over time. And that hedonism, living for the moment, will consistently make me unhappier over time, and broke, by the way. So you want to be in a good state. And by state, I mean the combination of thoughts, feelings, and physical sensations we constantly feel each and every moment. But that state is constantly fluctuating. When I was lying face down on the bathroom floor 3 months ago from the worst food poisoning that I've ever experienced in my life, 10 out of 10 in pain, the state that I was in was hell. Had God come along to take me and take my life, I gladly would have accepted, because I was in that amount of pain. I wasn't tough in that moment. My state was decimated as a result of taking the wrong action, eating sashimi, which I will never do again. Okay, your state will constantly fluctuate. Right actions are actions that that consistently put you into the highest state possible. Over the long term, though, not over the short term. For the short term, you might have to sacrifice state for 1, 2, 3 years to get your business up to 6 figures, then up to 250, then up, being able to delegate what you hate so that you've moved your condition forward. You might have to sacrifice state to get there, but we're looking at this game of life as the whole, as the long term, okay? Because otherwise, if you were looking for just this moment, it would be do MDMA. But obviously that is not a good long-term strategy. Okay, the state over the course of a lifetime, and that means making short-term sacrifices to elevate your condition over the long term. I'm all about happiness. That's the number one thing for me. That's the number one thing in my life. That's everything that this business is about. Every single article and video I've ever done is to allow you to live in the most consistently happy state possible, to give you all the strategies to live in that consistently happy state as possible. But you have to solve money to be able to do that. And you have to keep pushing, even when you're frustrated and angry and disappointed, to get through to solve money. Otherwise, money problems are going to smack you in the head for the rest of your life if you don't get it solved. They're going to keep hitting you again and again and again and again if you don't fully focus on getting that solved. Okay? So when I'm getting off the floor, off this food poisoning, I got my strength back. I was right back to taking the right actions the next day and made sure to never eat raw fish again. But I wasn't tough in that moment. So I'm not tough. I've just chosen to take the right actions in the past after a long period of not taking the right actions, by the way, when I was younger, and will continue to choose to take the right actions in the future. It's not about toughness. It's not about having to become anything to be successful, getting a degree or reading, the right book or anything like this. Okay? So when you're saying, or when a client's saying to me that they don't have the commitment, what you're really saying is you refuse to take the actions necessary for success because you don't want to win badly enough. Okay? You want it, but you don't really want it. If you're not putting in if you're broken, you're not putting in like 10 hours a day, you don't want anything. I'll tell you that right now. You're lying to yourself and you're lying to other people. Okay? Because it's not about becoming. It's not about getting a degree in entrepreneurship. Okay? That doesn't make you an entrepreneur. Becoming successful is merely the result of consistently taking the right actions over 3 to 5 to 7 years. From living Groundhog Day every day, making your 100 calls, and ticking off tasks in the same office day after day for what feels like forever, where you feel like you're just doing the same thing every fucking day, okay? And then doing that for another year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, then you become an overnight success. That's how it works. All right, well, all your friends are out on Friday, you're working. You're hunched over a computer working. When it's nice outside like it is today, I'm in here doing a video. I want to be on my motorcycle in the mountains right now. I don't want to be doing this, okay? I'm doing this because it's my commitment to do these things. That's the reality. Okay, identity is an illusion, which you can use, but the key to getting and being able to use that illusion of successful entrepreneur is taking the right actions. Processing is worthless. You don't need to focus on all the things you've done wrong or go back to your childhood and process things so that some point, sometime in the future, you can be fully perfect and get all these things together. All you're doing is wasting time and opening up old wounds. All that exists is the present moment. In the present moment, you want to be doing what the most productive thing for you is possibly. Okay, productive meaning is going to get you the most consistent state over the long term. And if you're relatively young and you're not wealthy already, the most productive thing for you almost always is going to be doing some type of work, and it's usually going to be the type of work that you least want to do until you have money solved, okay? Shaming yourself is worthless. You don't need to beat up on yourself and wallow in your own misery while you play the victim. Not only does that waste time, toxic shame murders your soul, okay? You don't need to think back and beat yourself up and tell yourself you're worthless because you took the wrong actions. You just need to take the right fucking actions in the future. That's it. All you need to do is recognize you took the wrong actions, okay? You chose the wrong girl, you didn't choose business ownership, you didn't make the cold calls, you didn't sacrifice weekends, whatever it was, or a combination of all those things. And just make the decision that you'll choose the right actions in the future because it's in your character as a man. And if it's not, make it in your character that you are the guy who's committed, you're dedicated, you choose the right actions, you're consistently willing to wake up and fight and choose those right actions forever until you fucking die. All right, because there's no sitting on the sidelines in the game of life. And if you want a good part, if you want a better part, if you want to go from broke failure to successful entrepreneur, or middling entrepreneur to more successful entrepreneur, or successful entrepreneur to really fucking successful entrepreneur, if you want those better parts in the movie or the stage of life, you just need to consistently choose better actions over time. Life doesn't take breaks. There's no sitting on the sidelines. You're either moving into a worse part or a better part. And you want to consistently be moving forward into a better condition. Okay? And make that part of your character, that you're committed, that you're dedicated. Tell yourself enough is enough. And that moving forward, you will consistently take the right actions and never give up. Because it's not about motivation, it's dedication that gets you across the line. Dedication means you work when you're sick, you work when you're tired, you work when you're not motivated. Working when you're motivated is easy. Any idiot can do that, okay? There's millions of wannabe entrepreneurs who only work when they're motivated and they never succeed because success is being dedicated forever, okay? It's consistent forever and taking those actions forever, every day, all right? I hope that got through to you. And I hope that got through to some of my clients who are listening to this right now. I love all you guys, and I hope that you move forward and take the right fucking actions in the future because you will benefit from it. I promise you that. I promise you that. Make it part of your character. Make dedication part of your character. Take the right actions, and you will become successful. Much love to you.